Hello, good evening, and a very, very, very warm welcome. Well, it's always nice to see you all here, and our special ones are always here to meet us. Nidhi ma'am, Sheetal ma'am, Prablin ji, all of you, I think, have been constant supporters. Monica, you're here. So, all of you have been constant supporters of Tech Talk Tuesdays for teachers, and we are very, very grateful. At the Pedagogics, we take pride in saying that this has been years that we have been nurturing our communities of practice by connecting with you every Tuesday at 5 p.m. So, welcome back after the well rested summer break that we all have had. And I think we've come back with a renewed energy and with lots of things and some new things as well. Well, talking of new, you must, let your colleagues also know that we now have two parallel sessions running, one in English and one in Hindi language. Both run between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And they are most welcome to be a part of any language that they feel they are more comfortable with. Another thing that I would want to share is that there's a huge demand on us for pushing the Hindi session a little bit. So possibly from 21st, we're taking a poll on this, taking up permissions there. So from 21st, we will be running the Hindi, Tech Talk Tuesday in Hindi, which is called, it's called Copilot के साथ नवाचार is what we are trying to do. So शिक्षकों के लिए it's a tech संवाद मंगलवार. So that's what we are trying to do over there. And please do join us. Allow your colleagues also to join us. And yes, join in large numbers. I know numbers are growing slowly today, but we are all right with that because we know we will have our community joining back very quickly once they see the recording of this session. And thank you for running the recordings of this session so successfully. We have so many views on each of these platforms that we have, between YouTube to Instagram to LinkedIn, that we're very, very grateful that you help us grow and brew our community. Well, it's time to get to know you better. And of course, please do introduce yourself. Tell us your name, school name, and city where you're joining us from, and share with us that on a scale of 1 to 5, how comfortable are you using Copilot to enhance teaching learning? Do note, I'm not talking about the baseline usage. I'm talking about how comfortable are you in enhancing learning using Copilot. Go ahead, share in a chat window your name, your school name, your city where you're joining us from, and give us on a scale to 1 to 5, how comfortable are you about using Copilot for enhancing teaching learning? I'm going to give you a minute over there. Go ahead and share with us how comfortable are you, and who are you, where are you joining us from? I'm going to keep quiet for a few seconds. And of course, I have to introduce myself. I don't think I took that opportunity, but I'm Meenakshi Oberoi. I'm the CEO and founder of Pedagogics, and I love hosting this session. With me is a new partner in crime today. Meet Khushbu Goel over here. Khushbu, I'll request you to go ahead and say hello to our, friends here, so that they know you're in the room and you're keeping an eye on the chat window and also co-presenting with me.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Meenakshi. It's lovely to be in this crime.
Thank you, Kushbu. Yes, it is criminal for me to ask someone to be here between 5 to 6. But you know what? Amongst friends, I think that's something that I expect all our audience to be here. So, yeah, here we are. So, as you bring in those introductions, let me also bring in a new piece over here, which is, look at that educator limelight that is being hidden from you as of now. We will reveal that in a few minutes. But we're going to start with about topic torchlight. We'll spend about 30 minutes on that. I've already taken 6 minutes away from that. Then we'll have educator limelight, where we'll have one of the educators telling us about how she uses Copilot in a very practical manner. And I'm very excited that she's here with us and we are able to bring her story to you. Her name is Miss Pragya Sinha. She's a PGT history from CM Shri School, Sector 22, Dwarka, New Delhi. And very happy to have her story being shared here today. And thanks to her for sharing this story with us. Well, talking about stories, which educator doesn't want to be in a limelight? If I were to ask you, would you not like to be in the limelight? I think you'll say, no, I think that's something I really need, right? Therefore, we have an opportunity for you. If you want to present or be the educator in limelight for any of the Tuesdays, we will be rolling out our calendar today. We'll be sharing in the chat window a link to the form. Please go ahead, nominate yourself, share your work with us. We're going to work with you to be able to help you get featured here. So, exciting opportunity for you, isn't it? Well, many of our slots are filled. However, we are happy to increase
So,
this one slot into two as well. Yeah.
so we have responses from our teachers. Prableen ma'am from Asian School Ludhiana's rate a co-pilot to 4, and she says this is the master blaster in assisting me all in all.
Well,
Whereas
Pravleen, I
Sonali
know you.
ma'am,
Yeah, Pravleen, I know you, and I'm sure in your class this is happening, and that's Pravleen, sir.
oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries. Go ahead.
My bad. And Nidhi Sharda ma'am from Bal Bharati School and Sonali Darda ma'am from Renaissance School, Latur, both rated co-pilot as 4 on 5. We have Sheetal Arora ma'am from Bal Bharati School. She is saying very comfortable. I use Copilot along with Microsoft Reading Coach and other Microsoft tools to personalize learning, strengthen literacy, and enhance student engagement.
There you go.
So,
There is our star educator. I know she's going to be on our educator limelight very soon. So we'll bring you what she's just written in her chat window. We'll bring you that story as well.
yeah. And then we have Anil Kumar Thakre sir, who is from Betul Sandipani School. He has rated 2 to 3. He has recently started his journey with Copilot, which is not bad. But
Not bad
on
at all.
average,
And
I think
it's
we are getting 4 out of 5 from most of them. And I think that says they want to learn more.
excellent. So here you are. You've just rated yourself. Thanks, Kushbu, for that. And, here you are. You've rated yourself and, gone ahead and shared with us. In all honesty, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, so we're here to take you onwards on your learning journey. And, after the Educator Limelight, we have community highlights. So our heads in every Tech Talk Tuesday for teachers will remain the same. These are the five heads under which we will be bringing you updates. What's happening in the community? What are we doing with Elevate for Educators community in India and globally? We're going to talk about that over here. Next, we'll do a feature headlight. Well, there has got to be a headlight on the new features, what's new, and what is it that I should expect. If not new, what is it that I could do differently? Whether it is tech-wise feature or pedagogy-wise or probably content-wise, we'll bring you everything one feature at a time. And we'll wrap it up with the social spotlight. So if any of you have spotlighted a good story on social media, do share with us and we will spotlight that over here. Tag us on social media, we'll catch your story, amplify your story, build your brand, and also amplify it over here. So you have so much that is coming your way. I hope you're sitting tight to take it in your stride. So I'm going to go ahead and start with topic, torchlight. And today's topic is cooking with Copilot, right? Now, while we begin cooking with Copilot, I know you all are very familiar with Copilot. So here are some prompts. Get your Copilot going. Work with me because today is not about me demonstrating anything to you. Today is about you doing many things. I have exactly 20 minutes to achieve this target. So be with me, get hold of your Copilot app or be on a laptop with Copilot. Here are a couple of prompts that I've given to you just to try or to start off. Pick whatever topic you want, and Kushbu's been kind enough to share these in the chat window. You can choose whichever one you want. If you don't want to choose these, it's fine to use your own prompt as well, but just take one of the prompts. Okay, that's your task one. As you choose, I'll give you 30 seconds to choose. So quickly read, choose, be ready. Gosh, these are the longest 30 seconds of my life. I can never get over 30 seconds. They become so long. Well, if you're ready with your prompt, here you go. Your task is this. We're going to divide the next 15 minutes into 5 minutes each. First, we're going to think. Then, we're going to explore. And lastly, we're going to improve. What are we going to do? We're going to create whatever activity you are doing. We're going to create critical thinking activities embedded in that. Today, we'll use Copilot Chat as our thinking partner to design a short activity, not something really long. Okay, that requires reasoning. Why do we need critical thinking? Because I think different types of thinking are very important to be brought in. And I think the highlight today that we've chosen is critical thinking. So we want students to reason, not just accept what's being given to them, not just answers, reason why this is there. There isn't one perfect prompt for that, and we all know that. So the goal is to practice a prompt that is shaping so that you can reuse it for any subject, any grade level. Okay, so we do three quick things. First of all, clarify what thinking you want your students to do, not for you, for students. Clarify what thinking you want your students to do. Number two, ask Copilot for an activity. I really like it that Nidhi ma'am has initiated us on thinking. That clarify thinking yourself. Don't just go to Copilot straight away. Then refine your activity. And what you will leave today's room with is a repeatable process that you can apply in multiple ways on multiple topics and multiple subjects. Okay, which means across subjects. So the first step that I want you to do is do not open Copilot, please. Because what I want you to do is I want you to think. Well, what do we do in thinking? I mean, I already know what I need to do. I know, but before opening Copilot, let's take a moment to deep think. Get clear on what from Copilot can you get better results for. You already have an activity, right? You don't need to start drafting the activity from scratch. So first think of a topic or a content, which means any text, any concept, any problem, any scenario which you already have. Then think about how can I bring in critical thinking over here or different types of thinking over here. If I want to introduce any type of thinking, where should I bring it? What kind of thinking? Well, here are some ways in which you can bring in thinking. You can go for explain reasoning. You can ask them to compare perspectives depending on the topic. You can I'd ask them to identify assumptions or biases or evaluate the evidence that where is the evidence of the statement that is being given or decide and justify. These are some of the thinking routines that I've given you. Now, using these thinking routines, you can choose one or two and then go to Copilot. Take some quiet time. Think about what is it that you want to choose. So think of your topic. Think of two ways of thinking at least from here, and then we will go to the next step. I'll let you take about 30 to 40 minutes to think about this. Take your time. We are not in a hurry. Okay. I'm the time monitor, and so is Khushbu. We will manage time for you. You don't need to worry. At the moment, we want you to think about your topic and think about at least two types of thinking activities for your students. Here are just the starters. You may want more thinking activities that you may want to include, completely up to you. Giving you those 30 seconds to gather your thoughts, or 1 minute actually. So, Khushbu ma'am, 1 minute starts now.
Yes, ma'am. I hope you all have decided. Your
Well, is it
thumbs up?
1 minute up already?
Yes.
All right. So 1 minute goes by really quickly, isn't it? Well, you never know. Even if you're not, don't worry. You can do a little bit of brushing on step two as well. Now you're at step two. Now that you've taught yourself, and we always place human intelligence above AI, when you start, don't just go to Copilot to say, give me this. Let's think about what we need. Like I said, it's always a 20-60-20, right? 20 is your time to think about what is it that I need from Copilot. I'm already a human. I'm already the subject expert. I already teach very well. I know the pedagogies to be used, but I think there's this little something that I need more. So take that and get into the explore stage. When you get into the explore stage, you can open Copilot and on the chat taskbar, you can start, writing your prompt. As you write that, do remember you should have three ingredients there: the topic, what you want, what kind of thinking you want your students to do. The third one is mention the constraint matters. I don't have time. I think I have only 10 minutes. I have 12 minutes to do this task with my students. Give me a quick 5 minute activity, or, some exit ticket, entry ticket, or probably, some brain break, something like that. Or age gaps that, while my students are at the similar age, but they do not learn at the same pace or same, they do not have the preparedness at the or readiness for learning at the same way, plus other complexities, and better than me what those are. So you're going to describe the activity you want to design based on what you think from step one. Don't worry about perfect wording. That'll never happen. And that doesn't need to happen. Just focus on the topic and the thinking you want students to do, with any limits like time, age, reading level, understanding level, reading pace, probably the type of learning styles that you have, anything that you can think of, right? So as you do that, I'll give you a sample prompt here. You may or may not use this, but I just want to ignite thinking. Therefore, I'm offering you a prompt over here. Yeah. So as you go to Copilot, I am going to go there with you to try my prompt and share with you how I am going to use Copilot to be able to bring in critical thinking. And there is something that I do, which I've off late started doing, and I really want to share that with you. And that's worked very well for me, at least. Yeah. So I'll just wait for my screen to pop up for you. Let me know if you can see my screen. Wait, I am waiting. Yeah, of course you can. So here I am. I've just copy pasted my prompt over here. Yeah. But I don't stop here. Why? Because when I stop over here, this means I'm only thinking about the first thing that comes to my mind. Students should finish their work, I think not in 30, I would say 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. But I want to extend this. So I'm going to remove the full stop and watch. Just give me a few minutes and watch what I do. What I do is I take this audio button and dictate, because there's so much on my mind, right? Like right now it says create an activity for primary science students about mammals. I would say grade science, sorry, I would say class 5. My class 5 students study about mammals. They should explain their reasoning, and reasoning about what it doesn't mention. Reasoning for why this animal belongs to mammals category. And I want to extend this. Yeah, I don't want to just stop here. And I want to say, invite students to compare mammals with other categories. And with this animal, what was the first category that came to their mind? And what was the second category which came to their mind when they wanted to classify? What was the reason behind which they chose mammals as a category for this particular animal? Now you see what I'm doing? I'm extending their thinking. I'm not just asking them to reason, I'm asking them to actually go deeper. Here, the student will be forced to think, okay, if not mammals, what could it have been? And why is it not that? That's the kind of extension that we are thinking about. And 15 minutes may not be enough for everybody. However, I'll say I want to know their initial thoughts, but I want to also know what happened in depth. Therefore, offer me a infographic or a graphic organizer or certain questions that help me very quickly capture the thinking that I'm looking for. Now you see how practical this has become? So, you know what happens when you're typing? Your typing speed may not match with your thinking speed. Yeah. Therefore, give this option to yourself to actually speak alongside your typing. Yeah. I used a combination of pasting the comment, adding to it by typing, and then using my audio because I was thinking alongside. Now you see the plan that will come over here will be much enriched. And do you see how it has given me a kind of a, plain text piece, which I could rather ask, for this to be given in a Word document also. And you know that, right? It's very simple. I think I really like it. Either I can suggest a visual template organizer, and also I can say, and give me this as worksheet in Word doc. There you go. And your work is done. You don't need to do any downloads, any uploads. Here, the Word document will already be uploaded in your OneDrive. Yeah. So that's the benefit here. I'm going to give you this time. You have about next 5 minutes to try this on your own. Share your results with us in the chat window. Would love to see what you're doing.
This is amazing, Minakshi ma'am. I tried this for maths and the result is amazing.
Isn't it? It just saves you that valuable time that you are actually spending and allows you to focus on what's most important. And that's focusing on
Actually.
your students, getting better learning outcomes and you
So
getting
usually
visibility to what they're thinking. Yeah.
usually we ask them to solve the equation. I tried the very first prompt and it is giving the questions where it is solved, asking for the mistake or asking to justify the answer. Lovely. I think if we ask such kind of question, my purpose of teaching mathematics is solved.
Absolutely. So you see, another thing that I want you to notice over here is it says it gives you a title, Classification Thinking Funnel. Just go ahead, put that as a heading in your classroom. Put this as your thought process, and the students will know what's the purpose. Why are you asking us all of this? They get visibility to a way of thinking. You're bringing in habits of thinking over here. Therefore, for them to know this is extremely important. Yeah. And you see over here, my worksheet is already ready. It's there in my Word doc, in my OneDrive. So it's opened up in another place, and I to you, and you'll see how beautifully this worksheet has been created. Let me just share my screen again to show you that. And in the meanwhile, I'm looking forward to your responses in the chat window. 3 minutes to go for you, by the way. Here you go. Your worksheet is ready. And all you need to do is you can do whatever you want with it. It's already there in OneDrive. It's saved. You don't need to download, upload. You can add your logos, whatever you want over here. Yeah. So I'm going to wait for you to go ahead and try this because this is absolutely genius of an idea. So I would love for you to try this. Oh, wonderful. What a beautiful visual you've created. Awesome. Nidhi ma'am, wonderful. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, flashcards are beautiful. So, Monica, that's for another time, and we are going to dwell deeper into flashcards. Over here, if you're creating flashcards, it's awesome. There's another way to do flashcards, which we are going to share in the coming days. And yeah, if you've created a flashcard, in Copilot chat, do share with us in the chat window. Last few seconds. I know you all are very busy trying. Do share with us in the chat window your initial outputs, whatever results you have. Do share with us in the chat window, please. Okay, so that's 5 minutes for us. Well, the next step to it is rather more interesting. So if you're really busy co-piloting, if that's a term, well then give us a few minutes because now you'll take a close look at Copilot's response with a partner. Well, not really with a partner. What I would say is think of you're sitting with another person. That's why I was asking you to share in the chat window so that we can look at each other's responses. However, this is something called self-reflection, so I'm putting this out for self-reflection. Go ahead and choose at least one improvement. You can choose more than one, of course, but ask Copilot to revise this activity. I do that all the time. The first output is pretty generated. It may be close to your needs, but it's not what you actually need, right? So notice what really already works for you and notice what could be better. Yeah. So you need to choose at least one way to improve this activity. You can choose more than one, of course, you'd like. However, these examples of improvement that you are going to try now should be able to give you, something like your students require, students require to use more evidence or include more than one possible answer or point of view, the way I included. Possibly have students explain their thinking. For example, if you're making flashcards or if you're using mind maps, ask them to explain their thinking. Then you could also ask them to what support do some students need. That's something for us to reflect. That if this were to happen in my class, I think I'll need support from probably I'll have to pre-print, so I'll need some support in pre-printing some of the flashcards that I'm using or the visual mind map ke liye maybe we'll need a blank sheet. Or in my case, there are multiple questions that I'm asking. When am I going to give this sheet? Am I be giving this sheet to them in writing, or should I be actually offering them online? Should I make a slide of it so that I can project it? Those are the kind of questions that we would want you to think about so that, Copilot can help students get Copilot can help you get from students more evidences, compare different ideas, explain their thinking, and also, somewhere give you a deeper peek into what they are thinking. So, we would appreciate if you could actually take a relook at your, whatever you have been able to generate and have one or two changes, bring in one or two changes, ask Copilot to work on those changes, coach your Copilot quietly, and see what your students need. What could make more, how could you make this more challenging or probably, help struggling students with it? Any kind of improvement that you can think of, go ahead and try that. We'll give you 2 minutes to try that before we actually bring this activity to a solid stand to say, hey, I think we've reached somewhere today. Okay, so 2 minutes, please.
Thank you for sharing your responses, Ashok sir and Nidhi ma'am. What you have tried on Copilot. Thanks for sharing here.
I love this activity, Ashok sir, part A, imagine life without freedom. Wow. If I could get my students to think like this, I think it's half the battle won.
True.
Nidhi ma'am's twist into bringing adjectives and then comparing whether they are positive, comparatives, or superlative. Wonderful, wonderful ideas. So go ahead and think from the lens of one improvement. You have about 1 minute left to do that. And those of you who have wrapped up your work, I would invite a bit of a reflection here. Please share one of the following in the chat window over here. A change that made your activity stronger, how the activity supports deeper thinking, one thing that you would adjust from being used, in this activity, and how this process can help students use critical thinking when they use AI tools. So these are some of the things that I would definitely want you to think about. And do remember, this is exactly what I mean when I say 20, 60, 20. 20% of your time in the first piece thinking, 60% of your time exploring what you can do, 20% of the time improving and giving it out to students. That's the way we want to be able to leverage AI Copilot for this purpose. Of course, our question for you today is how are you using M365 Copilot or Copilot Chat to support learning in your classrooms? This is not an easy answer to give. We will want to keep it hanging for you so that you can keep thinking about it. And if you are looking for more case studies, here are some case studies for you from Microsoft. And you could actually go ahead and you look at these AI use cases, which are real world use cases from across classrooms. This will help you get ideas about, oh, this is also a way in which I could use Copilot. Yeah. So we'll share this link in the chat window with you. And please go ahead and just check this out and do take a look at these use cases. They ignite thinking, they give you more ideas. Yeah. Okay, so moving towards our next segment, which is Educator Limelight. Like I said, you will meet Pragya ma'am. I will not stand between you and Pragya ma'am. Therefore, I'll let you hear her voice immediately. Let me know if you can't hear it. How beautiful is that, isn't it? I mean, look at us as teachers. Any challenge that we are thrown with, that's a history teacher doing geography and more with students and, trying to teach at that level. And yes, Copilot did help her sail. Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful story. And, especially in the public sector, I think we all know we all wear multiple hats. We are given, any time we are given any class to teach. And I think that's true for many of us where we get substitution as well. Make substitution meaningful should be one of the sessions that I should actually host. Great. So here we are. I'm going to invite Khushbu to take ahead the community highlight as she's been a part of this.
Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Um, this had been a wonderful experience with Tribal Welfare Department of Madhya Pradesh. We had about 90 master facilitators from 10 districts. And I must appreciate all those master facilitators were, traveling for more than 100 kilometers, were so energetic, so positive in the workshop, and how they were cooperative in using the technology, trying out every prompt, every improvisation. This was a wonderful experience. Even after the workshop, uh, we had, sharing session, and we got very positive feedback from them. Uh, can we move to next slide, ma'am? Yeah. So they try their lesson planning and improvise the lesson planning into parts. For the starter activity, they were improvising the prompts and trying it out. The I think the feedback from them was mesmerizing, because we had some inhibitions ki how comfortable they will be, and they were using their phones to access everything. And till now in our groups, we receive lots of learn certificates from them. They have completed their explorer journey. One of our master facilitator is in this workshop. I remember Ashok sir. I see him in every learning sessions, very actively participating in group as well as in sessions.
Big kudos to you, Ashok sir. Thank you for joining us here. I hope today's session is useful for you and we are able to contribute meaningfully. And please do encourage your colleagues as well to join. What you heard today was from Delhi schools. I'm just waiting for TWD Bhopal or Madhya Pradesh to give me more stories. Please do share with us. I think I'll play this. No, is that good, Khushbu, or do you want to share more?
Yeah, I had shared. I think we can share the testimonial by Niveta ma'am.
Do you hear the excitement in that voice? Well, it's beautiful to hear and heartening to hear these stories. Every time we meet educators, that's the kind of excitement that we hear, whether it is, public schools or private schools. I think whole of June, we were super busy meeting different teachers in different rooms. We've covered more than I think close to 1,000 teachers in the month of June itself, and that we feel very privileged to meet such teachers who actually excite us and who actually encourage us in bringing these kind of sessions to you all the more every day. Yeah, I will invite Khushbu to go ahead and introduce or talk about Microsoft Elevate for Educators community as well. Give you your soft reminder of expert nominations as well. Go ahead, Khushbu.
Yeah. So, Microsoft Elevate for Educators is a community that gives you a platform to recognize your work. And I'm sure many of you have already applied for expert application and many of you have completed your Explorer journey. We invite you to apply for expert application before it closes. 31st July is the last date. Before that, please fill in your expert application. Meenakshi ma'am, can I show the process on my screen?
Sure, just give me a moment. Raise of hand. Let's see how many of them have already applied. Because if most of the room has applied, then let's not. And if they
Yeah.
haven't, then I think we would love to show you. So if you have already applied or filled in your nomination for expert, just raise your hands. I have two hands raised as of now, four hands, five hands now. Who else? Six hands now. Okay. I'm talking about expert nomination, not explorer. Okay, we have seven now. Many of them haven't, so here's your chance. You asked for it. Go ahead. You may share your screen to do so,
Yeah,
Kushbu.
I'll share my screen.
Thank you. For those of you who have
So,
already applied, fantastic. Just hear this out, just in case you had missed anything. This is like going to be a very quick recap. So, Khushbu, you have exactly 4 minutes for this. Thank you.
okay. So you need to open the page elevate for educators.microsoft.com. Uh, I'm sure you all are Explorer and you have created your Elevate account. So please log into this account using your official ID or whichever ID you have used. When you go here, this will show your status as Explorer and we need to reach on the next status, that is Expert. To become expert, here are the steps. You can download this document. This document is nothing, but when you click the button become an expert, whatever questions comes in that form, you get all those questions in advance so that you will be ready before you click this button and fill your expert application. So please download this. Second, there are two learning pathways. So when you click on that, it takes you to learn. If you're not signed into your learn account, please do sign in. It has some courses like this general has two courses. Once you complete this, it shows green mark. Then you go on expert AI learning path. You have 7 modules here to finish. And if when you complete those 7 modules, then this will turn into green. I have deliberately kept my one module pending so that I can show it to you how it shows when you have not completed. After you finish the course, you go to, I'll show you this document because this will bring the same thing uh, that we get after clicking on become an expert. So we'll just take a, I hope this form is visible to you all. Okay. So initial information will be already filled, such as your first name, last name, personal email, or your organization name. After that, you need to fill it. If your school is Pathfinder school, check that. If your school is neither, then you click on neither. If you're from public or private school, click on that and fill the rest of the details related to your school address, state, or country. Choose the age group that you are teaching. Choose your role, primary, secondary educator, and your subjects. After that, it will ask you whether you have finished both the learning paths. The form will be submitted only if you finish that. So after finishing your course, only you click on this and click on yes. You will take achievement links from your Learn, Microsoft Learn. I'll again take you to Microsoft Learn here. When you go to Microsoft Learn, click on Profile, click on Achievements, and from here you take this achievement link, paste it in your form application. Now it will ask you some questions related to Microsoft tools. How often do you use that? Microsoft Teams, do you use it daily, weekly, monthly, rarely, never? So look at each of the statement and answer honestly. How frequently do you use them? After that, it will ask you which AI tool you use from the list. Select the AI tools that you use. Then you have two subjective questions which you need to answer, supporting the AI tool that you have selected above with the example. How are you using this for your classroom? How is it supporting you? It is suggested to create a folder on the OneDrive, collect all the evidences such as screenshots, or make a Word document with screenshots and explain the context behind that screenshot. If you have your lesson plans worksheet, keep all that in one folder so that you can, along with your answer, you can add that link here so that Microsoft team can go through the evidences. The more evidences are there, the more you support your answer with the evidence, more you have chance to become the expert. And how do you see Microsoft in this community supporting you? Not only Microsoft, but also the peer group. So you can here talk about how you're learning from peer, how you are supporting your peer, plus Tuesday talk sessions and the workshops, whatever support you get from Microsoft side, you can mention about that, how it is supporting you in navigating AI in your role. And you can also talk about the courses that you do on Microsoft Learn. So once you're done with this, your application is ready to submit. Thank you. I'll just stop sharing.
Thank you, Khushbu. Yeah, I know there are some challenges. We do have office hours available for you. Khushbu ma'am, if you can please share details of office hours. Office hours means if you have any challenges at all, we do host every day 5 p.m. We do host a 30-minute call where you can come with your questions, ask us. We'll be happy to respond to your questions and get you going on your queries. Yeah. So don't forget to join over there. Khushbu ma'am will provide details. And for those who are new to this process, we have all the documentation available. So just reach out to us at education@dpedagogics.com. Khushbu ma'am, if you can please drop that also in the chat window, I'm sure
Yeah.
people will reach out. Yeah. Do not forget to join the community. It's a wonderful community. How do I know? Well, because here, take a moment to take a look at the social spotlight. Okay, so we're talking about Microsoft Elevate Educator Summit 2026, which happened this year at Orlando. And we had three of our educators, two of them are here in this forum today. We had three of our educators who got invited to be a part of this. One is Monica Sharma ma'am from the Ketan World School, and the other one is Nidhi Sarda ma'am and Sheetal Arora ma'am. A huge round of applause for all three of them. They all have done phenomenally well throughout the year. They've kept the energy alive and they've just kept the rooms alive. And I was there as a partner and was generously invited as the to the summit also. And here's the social spotlight. Guess what? We got featured on LinkedIn and the Microsoft AI by Microsoft AI Skills handle, which is huge for us. And Monica's quote got featured over here. It was a wonderful place. It's a melting pot of people, like-minded people actually connecting together. And when Microsoft brings you together, it's another world and energy to be a part of those forums. Unfortunately, both Nidhi ma'am and Sheetal ma'am couldn't be a part of it because their visas did not arrive on time. However, there's a next time, and there's always better places to be in. So there are multiple forums that we, get invited by Microsoft. And I was both Monica was a part of the panel, and I also got invited to lead a table talk. Monica was leading one table talk, the other table talk one of the table talks was being led by me as well. So I'm not going to talk about that much right now. Just going to drop you a link in case you want to catch up on, what happened over there. So the link is with you, up to you for you to go and catch up. Well, it's the feature headlight time. Well, you've seen Copilot, haven't you? Well, no, you haven't really seen it. Let me show you what is Copilot and what am I talking about. But you'll say, I just saw Copilot. What are you going to show me? Wait and watch because I'm going to show you some of the things that you may not have noticed. I'm going to open a new chat. If you remember, I was in that mammal classification thing. I'm going to be opening up over here a new chat. Yeah. In this chat, notice that you have your message copilot here. But also notice that when you are ready to write a prompt and you're still sitting blank with the first word, just look right below over here. You have these Cue words to give you either rewrite or create or summarize or find and more. Okay, I'll let you find those. Sometimes, the starting of a sentence is always a problem. So you could actually start by any of these. Additionally, if you're still looking for prompts and I want to do something very different with Copilot today, then run to these ellipses, which are the three dots over here. Yeah, scroll down to quick help and you will see a prompt lab. Now I'm going to rest my cursor here because I know many of you will try this right now. This is there on your desktop or your laptop. Please use the full version of Copilot. I'm using the Windows desktop version of Copilot. So I'm on my laptop while I'm opening this. Where are you going to go? You're going to go to the new chat. On the new chat, on the top right corner, look for the three dots, the ellipses, then look for quick help. When you go to quick help, there are tutorials. Of course, don't miss those because if you don't know how to use Copilot, it'll give you a walkthrough like this to know what is it that you can do, and then you can start trying it now. Yeah, this is one which way to learn how to use Copilot. The other way would be go to quick help, go to prompt lab. That's your lab. What do you mean by lab? Lab is for experimentation. Remember that. Yeah. So there are some starter prompts that have been given. For example, draft a 2 week lesson plan on cellular energetics for university biology. This is not just for K 12, not just for teachers, but for people who are in non teaching positions as well. As you can see, essay essentials, quick lesson plan, help me critique this, track their reading, or write it faster, or write email to parents asking for whatever you want. So when you click on these prompts or you request for funding or whatever you want to do, simply just click over here. This prompt will come as is. And then what do you do next? Remember what I told you? Pick up your audio button, dictate what you want to, just use your dictate button, sorry, and dictate whatever's on your mind and start searching. All right. Well, one bit more, click on auto, then go to GPT. Okay. You've seen over here, these are the 5.5 versions that have come in. Don't be surprised if you very soon find out that there is 5.6 version also that is available to you. So always the chat GPT versions that keep on getting released, you will see the latest ones being accessed using your education account over here. And you could be in any mode. I put it in auto. You could be in quick response or think mode, any that you would like to. Yeah. So I'm going to pause here because I think I've given you a good run into most of the things that I wanted to tell you. Very open to taking your thoughts, questions, anything that you would like to share with us or ask us. We are happy to respond to your queries. And of course, do join our office hours. I hope the calendar has been okay. Where can we join the educators community? Sheetal, I'm not sure what educators community would that be, but you know how to join our social handles. Here they are. You asked for it. I'm going to give you this in the chat window. Go ahead and join our community wherever you are. You can be a part of our community. We love, encouraging educators joining these communities to learn more, to grow with us every day. And, we do have a portfolio for professional development. Go ahead and explore that. And of course, we have our flagship Pedagogics AI school programs as well, where many of our schools are already into or are already AI Explorer and AI enthusiast schools. We invite your school to be a part of these programs and be with us. Yeah. Well, what's coming up? Well, there are 3 sessions lined up in July. In the month of July, we have just, about to wrap up. We are wrapping up Cooking with Copilot today on 14th of July. We'll meet you next on 21st of July, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. with enhanced learning using AI. And then next, we will meet you on 28th of July, curating content with AI. Do remember, we do have these sessions in Hindi as well. We have Tech Samvad Mangalwar शिक्षकों के लिए शाम 5 बजे से 6 बजे तक 14 जुलाई को आज हमने वहां पर बात की कोपायलट के साथ नवाचार के बारे में 21 जुलाई को हम बात करेंगे एआई संग अधिगम के बारे में और 28 जुलाई को हम बात करेंगे कोपायलट के साथ रचनात्मकता So, do join us wherever you're comfortable, especially, if you have teachers in your school who are Hindi, Sanskrit, and other subject teachers, they want to join Hindi sessions, by all means, take your pick. And here we are. We meet you on 21st of July. Come back with at least five more of your colleagues so that we can expand this room to as many educators as possible. We're going to talk about enhanced learning using AI. And yes, before you go away, your feedback is extremely important. Therefore, please, please, please do share your candid feedback with us. We love to hear from you. We thrive on your feedback. Therefore, I'm going to share this link in the chat window for you to share your feedback with us. Here you go. I think nomination form is something that Kujma ma'am has already shared. I'm sharing with you the feedback form to share your candid feedback with us. And I do have 3 minutes. I'm giving that back to you, opening this session for any questions that you may have. Or, Kujma ma'am, if you want to share something, please take it away. I
No,
would
ma'am, I
appreciate if
just,
you can, yeah. Thanks. I would
uh,
appreciate if you all can ask your questions, please. Yeah.
yeah, please feel free to ask questions, fill your feedback form, and don't forget to nominate yourself. You're doing wonderful task for your classroom. You need to rise and shine, and this is one of the platform where you can come and share your best practices.
And of course, the schedule for joining our office hours. And I think that is
I
something,
have
Kujman,
already
have you shared?
shared,
Okay,
I
all
have
right.
shared
Possibly
the
I
link
missed it.
for 15th July session.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we are also sharing this in all the groups. So
Yeah, you'll
you'll
catch
all,
it somewhere. Yeah, if you're a
yeah.
part of our community, you'll catch it somewhere. Yeah. All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us today. Loved having you here and loved the energy in the room. Once again, do follow us on Instagram if you'd like to. And we'll see you here on 21st of July and we'll speak about enhanced learning using AI. We'll have all our 5 segments here. Therefore, if you're the educator who wants to be a part of the educator limelight, or if you think you have something important and amazing happening in your community, do let us know. Yeah, we'd love to feature you. Monica, you're here and I have about a minute. Do you want to come in here today or do you want to come in next time? Sorry, Monica, I know you can't speak. Hold on. I'm just giving you the mic. Okay, so possibly it's going to be next time because Monica, I can't see her now in the chat window. She is bringing you an amazing opportunity. So do come back next time and we'll share that. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. And please have a very wonderful week. Do take care and stay